Alright, hey Diz Talkers and Diz Nerds. So, today we're going to be making this video requested by a patron to talk about all the corruption in Disney. There was some stuff I found on my own, but I wanted to also include it with what my patron wanted to talk about. And also, yes, I did deliberately upload on this day because what better way than to honor Michael Jackson's death than to talk about Disney? And yes, I am being sarcastic for the fanatics. There's also a particular person from my past who is crying their eyes out because they don't have any solo photos of just them at Disney World. But let's not talk about that today. Let's just get right into the corruption. So, I already made a video on this, how they don't say boys and girls anymore, so I'll just read a small amount of it. I don't remember if it was a video that I made with her or if it was a completely different video. It may have actually been this video about the supposed don't say gay bill, which it's not actually a don't say gay bill. If you think it is or don't know why it isn't, just watch this video. I explain it in depth. But anyway, yeah, they were caught on like hidden camera. Well, it was kind of like a Zoom call meeting that Disney was having with their executives, and it leaked. And it was them basically saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going to say ladies and gentlemen anymore because it's offensive to all the stupid people." You know, in a video conference, yada yada yada. I already talked about it. The diversity and inclusion manager, so all the anti-white racists. Vivian explained that part goes are no longer here, ladies and gentlemen, or boys and girls. We provided training for all of our cast members, yada yada yada. Sorry, we provided indoctrination for our cast members. We now say hello everyone or hello friends. When I talked about this last time, they also included hello dreamers. Not sure if they just forgot to put it in the article or if they stopped doing that, but that's what this one's about. So let's skip past this one. We'll skip past this. This article is about how, you know how there's problematic characters that SJWs don't like in Disney, which is pretty much all of them, because they're good. So it turns out that they had removed some characters, and this article is talking about how they actually are bringing back some characters, but they're changing what they say, like what the characters are going to say. So initially, this particular character had said, all of the guys that turn me on, turn me down. And they're going to be changing it, and this is the official statement. The Bear Trio has found a new look that works for them, so clap your hands and stomp your feet because Bunny, Bubbles, and Boo and the rest of the Country Bears are getting ready to put out a new show that pays homage to the Oprah-style shows of Nashville. While the Country Bear Musical Jamboree will include Easter eggs from the beginning to the end, including a familiar tune fans may remember, the Bears will sing new, reinterpreted Disney tunes that includes all people, including the people who are just made up, in different genres of country music, like bluegrass, pop country, Americana, rockabilly, and other styles. Honestly, this I'm not too bothered by. Like, it's woke, but it's not like ultra woke. You know me, I only complain about like the ultra woke shit. You know, little side rant, it's not about Disney, but it's just a side rant that it does relate. You know how, like, the extreme anti-woke people, like, being anti-woke is what you're supposed to be, but there are people who take it way too far, like the hardcore conservatives, like the ones who say this: there's a gay NPC in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? I can't believe it. Woke! That's literally not what woke is. Just so you guys know, whether if you're woke or not woke, that is not what woke is. Simply having a person who is of a different skin color or a different, or if they're trans or whatever, that's not woke. Simply putting the character in is not woke. You're just including them. Woke is when you change the initial character for a person who's black or LGBTQ+. That's what the woke part is. It's not about adding on to something new. It's about taking history, removing it or changing it instead of creating something new because you want to destroy history and not improve upon it. That is woke. And people, hardcore conservatives, have completely lost track of what woke really truly is. But anyway, moving on. The next one is about Splash Mountain. We have this article here. A new Disney ride opens soon. Splashing right out of the culture wars. This is one of the primary ones that my patron wanted me to talk about, so let's get right into it. A ride based on the story of Disney's first Black Princess opens to the public on June 28th in Orlando, Florida, replacing the decade-old Splash Mountain attraction that was beloved by many Disney fans yet also widely criticized. It's important to note, by the way, I don't know if the article says it, but apparently this ride, Splash Mountain, was considered offensive because the movie was considered offensive even back in the fucking 40s. So, again, is it woke if it was considered offensive even back then? Yes, but not for that reason. It's considered woke because if that was true, I mean, it's true, but if Disney cared about that being the truth, why not change it back then, or 50 years ago? Well, no, sorry, apparently it's only around for 30 years, but why not 25 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago? Apparently it was triggered recently in 2020 only because of the George Floyd stuff, because now in today's modern day we honor criminals, right? So, but the thing is, Disney had no intention of changing it until that happened. Which means Disney doesn't give a shit, okay? The point is, Disney doesn't care until they're told to care. That's what matters. But the point is, Walt Disney's World New Ride, inspired by the movie The Princess and the Frog and its heroine, Tiana, is currently in preview mode for groups including employees and annual pass holders, and has already elicited mixed reactions in the midst of the culture wars. The smart people versus the stupid people. The structure of the long flume ride has not changed, but the theme has been completely redone 4 years after Disney first announced the project in 2020. During the same season of the nationwide riots, they're not protests, over the death of criminal George Floyd. The original Splash Mountain ride, which first opened at Disney World in '89 and at Disney World in Tokyo in '92, was based on characters from Song of the South, a 1946 Disney movie that has long been criticized as racist for its stereotypical portrayals of African Americans and a romanticized view of the antebellum South. Turning Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure is also happening at Disneyland. Okay, anyway, you get the fucking point. So, honestly, if I have not seen this movie, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen it, I don't care. But if it is racist, whatever, I mean, it was the fucking 40s. For me, it's more so that acknowledging that it's not about the people who want it changed, it's about the fact that Disney themselves didn't care until it was brought up. And, of course, the fact that you're altering history to satisfy the people who complain about fucking everything. Splash Mountain is one of the most loved rides in the park, so it's like, clearly, the people didn't care. But you know who did care? The small minority of SJWs. Because here's the thing, if the movie was that offensive, and the ride was that offensive over the last 30 years, then why? Oh why is it one of the most popular rides in the park? Clearly, the average person doesn't care. But the SJWs do. Anyway, next we got this article that talks about how, hey, stop calling Disney woke because Disney has always been woke. Oh, has it? Okay, I'll give a quick debunking to this article. It's not going to take long. Heading into the uncertain U.S. presidential campaigns, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis branded Walt Disney Company as woke. They are. Producing films that pursue a politically correct, they do, LGBTQ+, they do, agenda. A so-called exclusively gay moment in I love how it says so-called. In the live-action Beauty and the Beast, same-sex kiss at the end of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and an out-gay character in the animated Strange World 3 all provide fuel for DeSantis' stroking of the culture wars. Oh, wow. We couldn't be more fucking biased here. First of all, give those three examples as if they're the only examples smart people bring up. Right. How about the fact that you skin color swap every character? Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mention that because that point was too strong. Got it. And then you fucking say that that DeSantis is the one stoking the flames of culture war. No. What? How is DeSantis saying, keep it the way it's always been, stoking the flames, you absolute fucktards? It's being stoked by the SJWs who are never satisfied and want to change every single aspect of society. God damn it, man. Now that DeSantis has dropped out of the race, he has returned to Florida to continue his work as a culture warrior. Well, I guess that term works because he is a warrior for keeping culture, like, proper in the way it should be, I guess. It's kind of like SJWs being called SJWs because they're called social justice warriors, implying that they fight for social justice even though they don't. So he would be an SJW, and even I would, if we use the term correctly. and not as a fucking compliment. I made a video about how how these SJW terms are backwards, like how woke is meant to be a compliment, but if you call an SJW woke, you imply it as an insult, but you're actually commenting because being woke is a good thing. It's like changing the fucking words to fit these modern definitions and make the SJWs feel happy. I'm so tired of it. Anyway, Disney, against Disney. Higher education. Yeah, higher education. Yeah, just so you know, when they say a higher education, they mean like, oh, we're transcending. You know, we know all the real smart information because we have higher brains. But what they actually mean when they say higher is this. It's dead. I gotta plug it in. Anyway, that's what they mean by higher education, because you need to be fucking high to believe in this shit. Good lord. And more. But what DeSantis fails to realize is that this isn't Disney's first woke moment. 75 years ago, Disney Studios premiered Seal Island, a 27-minute film that directly challenged how Americans thought about the environment. Although Disney had garnered an international reputation for animated feature-length films, Seal Island was a live-action nature documentary that dared to depict animals as deserving, compassionate, and respect. Okay. So here's the problem with the article, and just so you know, I'm aware that the article's a lot longer, but I've already read it before I hit record. The rest of the article just talks about how Disney respects nature and animals, just so you guys know. So here's the point. Respecting animals and nature isn't woke. The article's trying to imply that it's not new for Disney to be woke because they made this nature thing. But that's not fucking woke. When has a smart person ever complained to Disney that woke is them caring about animals? I don't think that's ever happened. And if it did, those people are stupid, because that's not woke. That's not woke. Okay? It's simply fucking not. And what I love is that that's the only example of wokeness that the person who wrote this article was able to find from Disney's past. And that's not even real wokeness, which means that there are no real examples of true wokeness in Disney's past. So there you go. Pathetic. Actually fucking pathetic. Alright, next on the agenda. Oh my god. Disgruntled fan blasts Disney World for changing rides, says wokeness is ruining his favorite attractions, Hollywood responds. An op-ed in the Orlando Sentinel slamming Disney wokeness has set Twitter ablaze with Patricia, yada yada yada. Disney is in the process of taking the woke scalpel of the Jungle Cruise. Trader Sam is out because he might offend certain people. Every grown-up in the room realizes that Trader Sam is not a representation of reality and is meant as a funny and silly character. It is no more based in racism than every Disney character of an out-of-touch white American dad. More fucking racism in the article, wrote Jonathan Vadiyada. In self-proclaimed Christian conservative Republican, first objected to recent edict from Disney brass allowing staffers to sport tattoos on the job before taking aim at changes to Splash Mountain, because if it's associated with the Song of the South and the Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean is offensive now. Oh my fucking god. Pirates used to be one of my favorite attractions. My family would always ride it first on our first day at the Magic Kingdom. Now we do not even ride it every trip. Wow. When my family rides Pirates now, each of the changed scenes takes us to the illusion because they reminded us of reality and the politics that force the changes. So, I mean, this guy's kind of being a baby. Like, I understand he doesn't want to think about all the wokeness, but if you can't even, like, enjoy your favorite ride because you just, like, have images of wokeness in your head, that's pretty pathetic. I'm not saying don't be mad about the wokeness, but you're going a little bit overboard here, bro. Like, I know that Disney's woke and corrupt, but when I went to Disney World 2 years ago with you-know-who, I still enjoyed myself. I didn't have the wokeness in my brain the whole time I was there. Sure, things here and there made me go, wow, what a bunch of fucking losers, like, you know, the cost of everything there, for example. But I'm still gonna try and enjoy myself because, I mean, you kind of have to. You're in one of, if not the most expensive places in the world. You better force yourself to enjoy it, or just don't go at all. But anyway, Disney World is going to lose us as customers if it continues down this path. Well, they already have. Like every other woke company, they are losing tons of money, and they will continue to do so. I love Disney World, but wokeness is ruining the experience. Well, then stop going, bro. Just don't complain and stop going. Anyway, I'm not saying you're wrong. Just a little overboard. The wokeness specifically is seeing cast members' tattoos and removing a character named Cherry Sam for Jungle Cruise. A grown man sees these things or doesn't see them and gets all worked up, and the experience is ruined for him. Somehow he doesn't see this as his problem. Well, it's a combination. It is his problem because he's taking it too far, but he's not the one who started the problem, right? He's taking a problem that he didn't cause. He didn't cause the problem. He's just overreacting to the problem. So, anyway, yeah, to this author, you can go fuck yourself. Alright, next. Disney labeled the most woke company in America. No surprise there. Duh. A recent survey identified the Walt Disney Company, WDC, as the most woke liberal company in the United States of America. Or really the whole world, let's be fair, it's the most woke in the world. Typically when people think of Disney, they think of exciting times at Disney World or Disney Resorts and watching those movies. Truly, there is enough going on to find something to love. Still, some particularly vocal subsets of humanity choose to focus on hate and anger, particularly whenever there is any form of acceptance. Oh, okay. So hang on well, actually, I'll finish reading. Acceptance, acknowledgement, or change. Such is the case with a recent survey by the American Conservative Values, which labeled Disney as the most woke liberal company in the country. Okay. Yeah, I get the part about change, but what the hell do you mean by acceptance, bro? What do you mean by acceptance? I already made videos attacking Disney for their woke SJW racist bullshit against white people. Now, I know the modern world we live in, that being racist towards white people isn't a real thing because I don't have a brain and the media told me white people can't experience racism even though they can if you look at things objectively, but I live in 2024 so I can't do that. But, you know what, let's move on to the thing that I found. I do hope that I covered all the articles to your satisfaction, my patron. But let's move on to the most important thing and the most damaging thing Disney may have ever done. James O'Keefe is back. The founder of Project Veritas has been back the last year, and this is the first investigation that he's done on his own through his new company, O'Keefe Media Group, that I am covering. And most recently, he went into Disney and found that they are doing something that is not surprising, if you have a brain, but very fucking disgusting. Let's watch the first couple minutes of this video, and then you guys can finish it on your own to see what they've done. What horrible thing has Disney done? Let's find out.
Certainly, there have been times where, there's no way around just kind of unspoken. There are times when it's spoken, but how would they say it? No way behind her white on the shoulder. Like straight to you, or okay. Be very careful how they message that to agents. According to these videotapes, Disney blatantly discriminates against whites, white men in particular.
As always.
I'm sort of like well prepared for it. I'm well positioned for it. But as far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male, and that's not what they're looking at promoting. As a white guy, even Michael has his own doubts about the possibility for advancement for himself at Disney. In fact, Michael actually got to experience Disney's discrimination against white males firsthand.
As all of us white people do now.
11 years now, so I have friends in HR, and I have friends in those divisions. Look, nobody else is going to tell you this life, but they're not considering anyone else for the shot. They're just not. They even passed over a qualified half-black person for a promotion because they didn't look black enough. He wanted to hire somebody from a few years ago now, who was half black, but didn't appear half black. And there was a creative executive who was like, we're not, that's not what's black. Like, they wanted somebody who needed to appear a certain way, and he wasn't going to bring that. And man, it kind of feels like we're, at some point there's going to be a lawsuit. That's not how it feels, just because of things. And that is a lawyer talking. So how does Disney explain pushing these discriminatory practices? They use code words and buzzwords.
That's what all SJWs do, is use buzzwords for fucking everything, whether if it's insulting smart people or hiding their bad actions.
Saying that there's a acceptable words and buzzwords that are used to explain this, that they're looking for. They might say something like, look, we're not looking at like the usual suspects for this job.
The usual, right. I'm pretty sure it's even between all skin colors, like any job, like anything in the world, but because we live in a culture where white people are the targets of everything, they just don't want them. It's fucking racism. And again, I just have to point out, imagine if they said the exact same thing, but about black people or brown people. Uproar, fucking jail. Disney would be shut down as if that's possible, but they find a way. But because it's white people, the media says fucking nothing. And all of you, I mean, you look at my videos, I have given so many examples of anti-white racism, so many. But because the modern mainstream media, the modern Hollywood, the modern school system, and all of you brain-dead fucks out there think that only black people experience racism, every time I bring up an example of white racism, you go, oh, Matt, you're just a conservative Nazi for thinking that white people experience racism. Even though we objectively face more racism in modern day than black people do. That is a fucking fact, if you just use your brain.
So it's like not like a legally actionable thing. Like as it means.
Everybody knows what it means, exactly. All the smart people knows what it means.
Saying, big writers and actors all the time, like, looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity. I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who will know them.
And there you go. There's your proof, by the way, because I'm going to pretend that I haven't already given like 1,000 examples of proof, but there's your proof again, that diversity is supposed to mean everything. Right? Everything from white to black and everything in between. That's what diversity is supposed to mean. But what it actually means, and what has been proven probably a couple thousand times by this point, is that what modern diversity actually means is black, everything in between, but you stop here and erase the white. Diversity means no whites allowed, which means it's not real diversity, because you'd have to include white if it was diverse. It's a spectrum of color. There is black over here, white over here, gray in the middle, and everything in between. If you erase white, the fucking spectrum of color kind of fucking drops, doesn't it? Again, it's modern day, people are fucking brain dead, they don't get it, but yes, white people, specifically white men, are the most oppressed class in the modern world. That is a fact. I've proven it in my videos for several fucking years now. Get over it and accept the fucking truth. And one more quick little jab at Disney. Remember how Walt Disney himself literally said that he doesn't want anything with the movies or parks to go changed? He wants everything to remain unchanged just the way he left it. Man, Disney's really respecting Walt's wishes with all these live-action remakes as well as the park itself, aren't they? Disney can't even respect the founder who fucking created it, let alone the fan base. Anyway, if you want to watch this entire video that James O'Keefe made on Disney, the title's right there. Not sure if my watermark is blocking it, so there you go. Look it up, finish it, and hopefully Disney goes out of business, but we know that's never going to happen with them being, the third or something biggest company on the planet. But they are losing a ton of fans. They've lost a ton of money. They'll never go bankrupt, obviously, with them being the fucking titans that they are. But all I can say from the bottom of my heart, and I've been saying most of my life, fuck Disney. Bye.